Hey guys, Desolator Magic here, and I gotta share a funny story with you. But first, did you know that scientists have now proven that 97% of all Bigfoot sightings in America are actually just Jeremy out in the woods? That is true. He's got the big old beard. He's like 7.5 feet tall. No joke. I met him in person. He is just as gigantic as you're thinking, except probably bigger. But anyway, I need to expand my Bitcoin operation in that in September it suddenly spiked to 90 degrees Fahrenheit outside. A little bit unusual for September considering it's usually 40. And I had trouble cooling like 1500 watts were the Bitcoin miners. Or I should say, well, GPUs, they're altcoins, whatever, it's crypto miners. And so now over the winter, it was very profitable, so I reinvested and bought like another 1500 watts. So we're running 3000 watts, which is apparently about what I need to heat my entire shop. But I knew this going in, and I knew it when I expanded that I could not cool them in late spring, we'll say. So April, May, March, whatever, whenever it becomes hot-ish, the air conditioners simply can't keep up, and I don't want to pay for the air conditioning anyway. So the plan all along was to buy them in fall, mine all winter, and then when it got too hot in the spring, sell them off. Well, an intelligent decision is not how I would describe losing income right now, because I need income. So I can't just say, oh, well, it's hot in here, I guess it's time to lose out on thousands of dollars of income. Yeah, right. I mean, come on. And seriously, $7,000 worth of GPUs and equipment, power supplies, all that, was making $3,300 per month at the peak, which for me was actually when Bitcoins were at like 14,000. So that plus YouTube, I was ready to close down my shop, but I thought, well, give it a while and get a little bit more out of debt because nothing's a sure thing. And hey, sure thing, it went down. Bitcoin's hit 6,000 recently. They're back up to like 8,100 as of today, but I don't know. It's a lot of like government crackdown crap. That's usually a pretty durable drop, but we'll see. Of course, I sold it like 94 and rebought it like 7.1. So yeah, this ain't my first rodeo. I made about 50% of my balance in profit just in like 4 days. But I mean, I care more about income than, buy low, sell high. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's down to like $850 per month, and like 300 of that goes to electricity. But hey, it's free money. And the hardest part right now with Bitcoins, I'm getting way off path, but I mean, some of you are like super interested in this though. I paid about $7,000 for the hardware, and if I sold it all off right this second, I'd make about $12,000. So hooray for the graphics card shortage, I guess. So, I mean, the plan all along was to start mining in spring and then go all winter and then sell them in fall, which I knew was never going to happen. I knew that I was lying to myself. So instead, I thought what I need to do is move these off-site, and I'm running completely out of options because it has to be ventilated, but hopefully not HVAC. It's got to be able to dissipate thermal energy for free, basically, and also has to have an internet connection and a lot of electricity and be clean. So that eliminates, everything, but I happen to know from experience and testing from years ago that concrete walls and basements have a very high thermal conductivity. I mean, relative, obviously. I mean, it's still like a ceramic, but it's higher than you'd think. Like 1,000 watts constant won't do crap to a basement. I mean, it might raise it 1 degree. Like that's how bad it is in the winter. In the summer, I think it could probably also handle it. So, I was looking at, well, let's just get a house then. I mean, I love where I'm living in an apartment because, it's under $500 a month, which that may shock some of you, and this may shock some of you as well. A house, you can get a good house below 100K around here. Now, what I'd like to buy and what I qualify for a loan for are two drastically different values. But my parents run a house flipping company, so they know how to fix up stuff. I've worked for them. I know how to fix up stuff, especially wiring. That's kind of my specialty. Paint, plaster, flooring, insulation, like fixing windows stuff. That's all easy. I know how to do that. That's cool. So I thought I'll just buy some absolute dump because honestly, my apartment's not that nice. But the nice part about it is if something breaks, I'm going to garbage disposal. I just make a call and boom, within 1 day they fixed it for free because I don't own this place. Welcome to apartment life. But it's like under 400 square feet here. It's a studio apartment. There's like no storage and I don't get a garage. So, I love it here. My neighbors are super, super cool. And it's like super quiet. Bunch of just like chill, single broke folks. But for what I'm paying per month, which, like I said, is under 500, $500 a month on a mortgage 30 year at like a pretty good interest rate is like $100,000 house. And that's after considering property taxes. Like that's the out of pocket per month, not counting maintenance. So, why not start putting money into an actual property that I would actually own equity in then? Well, because I don't like getting up at 5 a.m. to plow the snow or shovel or snowblow or any of that. I have staff that does that for me. Oh, go outside and cut the lawn? My people do that for me. Yes, this is like the cheapest apartment in my entire city, and some of my neighbors are felons. It comes with the territory. At least I have free maintenance staff. Well, it's not really free, I suppose. At least I have maintenance staff and lawn care staff. Yes, what kind of peasant goes out and cuts their own lawn? Well, me, apparently, if I buy a house. So anyway, if you thought I lived in the hood because, you don't get these kind of quality, cheap, small, tiny, crappy apartments in the nice part of town, let's just say where this house that I was looking at, it's not great. Like, we make fun of that other city because of their crime level. Yeah, that's the pot calling the kettle black, but you know that new type of black that they invented called Vanta Black? Okay, that's how black that place is. Wow, that sounded racist. Oh my God, I meant in reference to the metaphor. I mean the idiom. I don't even know what it is at this point. The place is a crap hole. Okay, when my parents were like, oh, we found a house for you potentially, because, they got all this pro subscriptions to all the this and that, because, you flip houses, you're in with all the realtors, you get all the pocket offers, pocket deals, the off-record stuff. Some people who do estate management when somebody dies, the whole game. But yeah, they got an alert about one that just came onto the market, and boom, schedule same day, let's go, because Realtor will prioritize somebody who bought 5 houses from them. Not a lot of repeat customers with Realtors. That's what they always tell you, friendly referrals. But when you're a house flipper, yeah. So we go to see it, and all I knew was the price, okay? Let's just say it was under $50,000. And by under, I mean, you could limbo under that. So that's what we in the industry call suspicious. So I thought, okay, right off the bat, there's going to be a $15,000 problem. It's either the roof, the foundation, or there's like knob and tube, or like a pipe burst, or like holes in the walls. Even that, I mean, it'll drive away buyers, but it's not that expensive to patch a hole in the wall, and we were probably going to take the wall out anyway. But well, let's just say my parents got the inside scoop from the realtor because she had already seen it. They didn't feel like sharing that with me because they wanted me to show up. So pretty obvious where this story's going. Now, okay, when it comes to like, estate sales and like legit hoarders, I mean, no joke, people who got stuff stacked up all the way to the ceiling and haven't cleaned in 30 years, and then they die, and then their kids find out and they're like, oh my God, who's going to buy this? Yeah, that usually ends up in a flipper or investor hands. So we've seen some stuff. Also, foreclosures, where when the people are kicked out for foreclosure, they do some damage on the way out. Because, in addition to ruining your credit, you got to ruin your criminal history too. And then there's the ones that have been vacant forever because the government was just handing out all kinds of tax credits, bonuses, and rebates and stuff. Like, the longer a bank can keep a place foreclosed and not sell it, the more money they make, which is ridiculous. I mean, they would just outright fake paperwork and stuff and like decline auctions to not let anybody buy the property because it was more profitable to not let anybody buy the property. Thanks, Obama. And I mean that very literally. It was 100% his fault. So I took that little policy completely personally because it almost ruined my parents' second business. But anyway, we have seen some places, okay? We've seen mold. We've seen, just you name it, we've seen it, okay? Okay, there's 2 realtor reactions you can get from houses like this. There's the one reaction like, oh yeah, you guys could fix it. Look, sturdy walls. Wow, don't look in there. Oh, I'm sure this would be a great buy for you. Oh, this looks totally cheap to fix up. Like, where they're still trying, but let's just say they didn't go into acting for a reason. And then there's the other realtor that we usually use where, sometimes she's like, oh yeah, this would be a great investment. Oh yeah, wonderful. Because it's just like, whatever. Yeah, it's rough. They know that. And then there's just like, you walk in and they're just like, damn. Now, okay, this is a very successful realtor, the last house that we went through. And she just walks in and she's like, oh my God, you guys. Oh my God. Okay, like, no offense. And like, I hope you guys don't take this the wrong way, but I'm going to be in the car. You guys have fun. Peace out. Now, that was one that my parents actually decided not to buy because it needed a lot of work. Or, well, okay, it needed a lot of work and the price wasn't right. Because, I mean, we'll pay $15,000 for anything. You know what I mean? You can get a hell of a lot of work done for that margin. Hell, for that margin, you wouldn't even have to do the damn work yourself. Just buy some contractor services. But that was last year. Okay, so I show up to this one. The realtor's like kind of exactly on time, which I consider to be late. I got there fashionably early, like a normal person, and then since it was cold as butt outside, I may or may not have picked the lock on the garage to take a look at that first. And actually, the garage was lovely. It looked like they had just built it. I mean, solid, no stains on the wood, nothing, just flawless condition. Even the ground had been repoured, or the concrete or whatever, the floor. Beautiful 2-car garage. I'm like, okay, what is wrong with this place? Because this is really cheap. And then we went inside. And let me just say, okay, there's like, I'm expecting some problems at that price level. And then there's this price level where it's like, I'm leaving my safety off on my gun and ready to draw it in case there's homeless people or wolves inside of here, or both. Homeless people love to train wolves. That is super a thing in Wisconsin. Don't ask anybody else or try to verify that information. And so the first place we go is the basement because, let's just say, like I mentioned, my parents knew something I didn't. So it's not the original basement, which is good because this place was built in the 1800s, so it would have been stacked stone with like mortar, like early concrete or whatever. But, maybe cinder blocks with like joint compound or whatever they call that, like mortar or whatever. Maybe that wasn't the best choice considering they already had it inspected and had labeled how far the bulge was out with like a, I don't know, protractor or however they do it. Hey, for all you basement experts out there, is 2 3/4 inches the point where you would start to maybe consider fixing it? And by the way, cracks everywhere. The cinder blocks had like liquid water that froze into ice pouring out between them. So there's like icicles running up and down the wall. And in some sections, because, the house was like 2 feet off the ground, it was one of those basements, you could just see right out to the outside. Like there was like 1-inch cracks where you could like wave at your parents while they're looking in from the outside and you're looking out from the inside. For various reasons, you're not really supposed to have that with a typical basement. But I thought, okay, I know from experience, this ain't my first rodeo, 15 to 20,000 to fix that. Even if they had to report, they could do an outside pour and just run crossbars. That's cool. That's even cheaper. Or just gut it, report as is, rebuild it, prop it. What do they like? Use the little spreader things, however they want to do it. Honestly, you take the price they're asking, add 20 grand, you still got a deal. Okay. But then we went upstairs. So do you still got a deal after we went upstairs? Believe it or not, the layout was amazing. Amazing. The whole kitchen and living room were like open. Like one whole side of the house, like front to back, was just like open. And everybody's going for open floor plans with like no, doorways or nothing. Just straight up knock out the walls, make it open. That's like super hot right now. The roof actually looked pretty reasonable. It needed a little bit of cheapo patching, but we're talking $300 job, so no problem there. Grounded outlets almost everywhere, but the way they installed it was wrong. Remember, I'm the electrical expert, so yeah, I wasn't thrilled with how they did it. And knob and tube in the attic, which means that the new stuff, which was installed in the 90s, actually was fully grounded. So anything I gave a crap about was grounded. Let's just put it that way. So I'm thinking, oh my God, we got the garage to mine Bitcoins in. We've got the basement, theoretically the attic in the winter. Oh my gosh. Like, this is great, but ooh, this place needed some more work. The windows were just like, the window sills inside and outside were falling apart. The carpet was just destroyed. I am basically, the reason I go along with my parents looking at houses is I'm a better mold detector than any device you could get. I mean, maybe a dog could beat me, but that's about it. I have, as my doctor put it, the worst allergies he's ever seen on a human being. My skin will just light on fire if there's even the slightest hint of mold. Oh, that goes double if I'm sweating, because then it gets in my pores and the reaction is just insane. The only thing I could tell was they had pets, and the carpet, well, we'd pull it up anyway. It was the one carpet, but hardwood floors under all the carpet and the ugly 50s floral laminate. But lead paint, possible asbestos tiles. The bathroom needed to be gutted. I mean, it's rough. So, gotta tell you that we have certain classifications and tiers at my parents' company. And the bottom tier is what we call a hood house. As in, like, we in the hood. And by the way, oh my God, like, we're in the hood, okay? When my parents were like, do you know where this is? I'm like, is it, like, right diagonal from that one gas station that got robbed, like, 4 times? Yeah, I know where that is. I'm very familiar with that area, thanks. Yeah, I've been there, because remember, in high school and college and 2 years after, I did in-home computer repairs. So, I've been everywhere, basically. And whenever I went down there, boy, did the people complain about the prices because they're all broke as hell and just shootings and drug dealing and everything. It's a wonderful area. But actually, usually what gets that classification, which is why we came up with the term, is housing and urban development. Okay, you've perhaps heard of them. They'll take over like some kind of, bank foreclosure, whatever, some place where people got arrested, just whatever it is. They'll take it over. They'll try to give it to like first time homeowners or somebody who just got out of jail or whatever. It's housing and urban development. We hate them because they will sell to investors when hell freezes over. So if they get control of a house, you might as well just give up. And honestly, if they have like a 90-day hold on it usually, if they can't get rid of it in 90 days, it's not in good condition. Like, they'll do some really sketchy, shoddy, crappy volunteer work themselves and then still fail to sell it if it's a true hood house. So if it's a HUD house, it's a hood house. So we've looked at a couple of those and we've never gotten one because when they're ready to just give up and sell it to an investor, like aka a house flipper who would put 40 grand into it and actually do it right, that means that nobody else was willing to take it and just kind of fix it up as they live there or anything like that. But this one wasn't even a HUD house, but it was a hood house, okay? Gets 100% certified hood classification by my parents' company. So I don't know, I don't really like the area. It's a little bit too far away from my shop and my family and other stuff that I go to regularly, like the gym and other stuff. Crappy part of town, noisy main street, just, it needs tons of repairs. There's nothing good going for it. And I could never get a loan for a house like that. The bank will just decline it. They'll just say, it's in too bad of condition, we can't give you a loan for this. Even if it's assessed at $100K and you're selling it for like 50, they don't care. They'd get stuck with an unsellable property if you went under and they would just lose the entire principal, which would be really bad. But my parents would buy it, fix it up, and then I'd buy it a mortgage or land contract, cash deal, whatever. But I don't think it's going to work out. But I will say, how I said there's two different types of realtors? Oh, this one was going for it. She is not new to this. Even when we're like, hey, look, I can see sunlight coming through the basement foundation. She's like, oh, you could just patch that right up. When we go upstairs, she's like, oh, I already redid like the whole layout on my head. You could move this, do this, do this, do this, and move that. And this could go here, and you could put a fridge here. And wouldn't that be wonderful if you put this there? And this could be used as an office or a second bedroom. And the resale of this, and we're just like, lady, we're not new to this either. But hey, God bless her for trying. I mean, it's better than the other realtor where she's usually positive and upbeat, but when she walks into a true hood classification house, she's just like, damn, you guys, you sure you want this? Like, literally, she's the one selling it. She's like, oh, I wouldn't buy this if it was me. Oh my God, what fresh hell has been opened up in this house? You're gonna need like people who come in after like a flood or like a pipe burst, and then also a priest. Like, holy crap, people, do not buy this house. But you got my number though if you want to make an offer. Like, there's still that. I mean, they're gonna be like, oh my God, you guys, this is unbelievable. I'm not even stepping foot in here. But do call me if you're interested. Now, this one was going hard on it. Every time I had a complaint, she had an answer, and I think she thought I was buying it. I absolutely was not. Because like I said, for the 100th time, this ain't my first rodeo. I've worked on and looked at buying houses in the past, and so has my parents' company. You can't BS a BSer, as they say, although honestly, fixing up houses requires very little BSing. So yeah, that was my adventure to the hood house in the middle of the hood. Didn't have to shoot anybody on the way in or out, which was always a plus. Very surprising, actually. I think it was just too cold out for anybody to start shooting people in the streets. But I guess it won't be moving anytime real soon. I'm probably just going to pay off a bunch of debt, make it look like a little bit better lending opportunity for banks. Because right now, I look like the last person on planet Earth that they should lend anything to. I'd be lucky if I qualified for a hardware store card. But I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do with the Bitcoin miners. I mean, with Bitcoins falling like this, I think I might have to sell the GPUs and then just try to rebuy them when it gets cold out again. I don't know. I hate losing the income, but it's not much income right now. And the price of the cards is going to drop if supply goes back up. So I don't know. We'll see. I'll give it a couple weeks. It's still, it's like 5 degrees out. Yeah, at 5 degrees, I can handle it. I can handle 3,000 watts. That's actually insufficient, believe it or not. It's not a very well-insulated building. But the final thing I gotta say is if I move out to a house, move a lot of my like eBay stuff, like, card sales, as well as, other stuff that we sell on eBay, which is honestly just anything. Like anything we could pick up at a rummage sale, liquidation, bankruptcy, auction, a pawn shop and resell it, you name it, I'll resell it. So I just sell absolutely everything and anything on eBay. But if I had that going and I closed down my shop because my shop made negative $2,000 last year according to my taxes, then I'd have more time to work on YouTube, like a lot more time. Like it's 12:17 at night right now and I should already be in bed because I got to be up at 10 a.m. tomorrow for an appointment. Oh, pardon me, I have to be at the appointment at 10 o'clock. So I always have to rush things. I'm always cramped for time. So it would be a wonderful dream of mine to, I guess, go full time with YouTube, although most of the money would be from Bitcoin mining and Bitcoins would have to go back up at least another $2,000 for that to be possible. But just think about it, I could take 8 hours to edit something if I wanted, and I'd be free to just do anything I want with any open schedule. It would be wonderful. So hopefully I can pull that off within a year, and it's all because of you awesome people out there watching my channel, supporting me. And hopefully at some point my second channel, Desolator Gaming, will take off. It would help if I actually uploaded content to it. I've understood that is part of YouTube's algorithm, is if you want to get a lot of views, you have to upload videos. But they take 4 times more time to make than an average MTG video. So, yeah, you can see why that's a problem. I've got a big plan for that, though. It's going to be pretty huge. I've got an idea how to kind of fast track it a little bit because I'm not new to YouTube either. I know how to game the system to get, 1 million plus views on one video. So I'm just waiting for the right, very particular opportunity. So hopefully I'll be, by next year, living in a house, doing YouTube full time, and then my little side jobs, mining some Bitcoins, and not going full-blown Ace Ventura in the Rhino like it was last September in my shop. Like it was 80 plus with the AC going. So yeah, definitely need to move my Bitcoin miners off-site somewhere. I would prefer a house just for square footage reasons here. I have like nothing at this apartment. So hey, if you want to help make that dream a reality, Patreon link in the description, Teespring as well, although I'm still waiting for my crap to get reinstated after somebody had a false DRM or DMCA, whatever, to it. And the second I find out that person's name, they are going to owe me a lot of money. I might put up like a donation plaque with their name on it in my new house that I'll get after I sue the living crap out of this asshole. If word gets to them that I'm saying this message right now, oh, you are in trouble. I don't care if you used a fake name and fake information for the fake DMCA. If you used your actual IP address, we're going to get that with a subpoena, and you're looking at civil and criminal charges. So have fun with that. You just ruined your own life because you're such a fucking arrogant SJW piece of shit. Just had to attack me in some fucking fake-ass little petty way. Oh, Jeremy too, so it might go class action. Now there's gonna be consequences, and if somehow it falls apart in court, then you're gonna have to worry about what I do outside of court. So either way, you're in trouble. So with that pleasant thought, I'll see you guys next video.